spinners, England spinners here for me today, who are going to try and win this game for England.
Psychologically as well, from an English perspective, is 150 against this Australian side defendable?
Look, it is defendable. I think it's under par, but if you bowl well and if you feel better than what Australia did, you're always in with a chance. You're always in with a chance with Nat Simmerbrand as your skipper. So if they bowl well, there is always a chance. And then try and get the crowd behind them, get a bit of momentum.
Okay then, England defending 150, Australia targeting 151 for the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Let's head up to commentary where Nasser Hussain is waiting for us.
Through so much together, worked for this moment. They had 6 months off in the winter, no international cricket, where Charlotte Edwards got them together to work for this very situation against one of the great cricket sides that has been the Australian women's cricket team. Keep an eye on England's fielding. They'll have to hold together in such a pressurised run chase. There'll be a moment that they'll need to take. What do you think, Ebony? Which camp would you rather be in?
Cheeky question, Nat. What I would say is 150 on most games bilateral against Australia, say no chance. What I would say is final on a tricky wicket, like you said, slow, slightly low, just keeps you in the hunt, and then this becomes about execution under pressure. Australia, for me, were fabulous in the field. I thought they dived around, they got their angles well, they were professional. England will have to match that if they even want to ask a question. We might be shaking things up as well, Nas.
Yeah, I'm looking down on the pitch and you see Vol and Mooney there, but I haven't seen Charlie Dean first delivery. Lindsay Smith or Lauren Bell. England, who know a lot about this Australian side, they all play, virtually all of them play in the 100 here. We'll start with Charlie Dean.
This is her first time she's actually opened. Always been Lauren Smith or Lauren Bell. Lindsay Smith. He's got a great record, Lindsay Smith, against left-handers. They were Beth Mooney out there at the moment. Just trying to change it up, keep Australia on their toes. I actually like this move. I think this is smart from England.
Yep, so England have changed it up in a final. The analyst says for these openers, the first over should be bowled by an off-spinner. And it's been belted straight down the ground. You'd say it's more for Mooney than for Vol, but Vol sets the tone.
I was about to ask that. Who gave you that stat?
Well, that's what they said. Go against these two with an off-spinner. Maybe they hoped Mooney would be on strike. Now, they've gone on with the arm and given. Did it pitch outside leg? That's the question.
We have a player review for LBW. Original decision is out. Steer delivery complete. Just look at the screen there. Roll through. There. Get there. Roll through. Yeah. Satisfied there is no bat involved. Can we move to ball tracking and ready, please? Ball tracking coming up. And that is pitched outside leg, so we'll go back on field to Jackie to change your decision to knock out. Stand by. You're on screen.
Yeah, clearly pitching outside leg. New ball skidding on. this is the way they want them, this way round. Julia, you said straight away as they appealed that pitched outside leg.
As a wicketkeeper, you keep an eye on these sorts of things, and it's interesting the fact that Amy Jones doesn't seem to have as much influence in a lot of the decisions. I suppose she was sort of maybe trying to influence England to stick with that appeal. But well done from Beth Mooney and from Georgia Vole to have a look at that.
Beth Mooney's just one of those cricketers. She just goes about her business quietly. You think she's the glue, actually, that holds Australia together, and then suddenly, like in the last game, she's 50 off 25. It's a bit more than glue. Get back. In early times, however much you've played.
Dean against left-handers, 9 wickets for her at 18. So a pretty good record, as you'd expect, an off-spinner against the left-hander.
That was an excellent line. Bowled there just to Mooney, kept her trying to, you could see, move around the crease, create some width. That angle into the pads.
Gives herself room, and that's a good stop. Lindsay Smith gets half a hand on it. That was going to the boundary. 6 from the first over.
Postcards from Australia. Magnificent place to visit. Magnificent place to live as well. Sydney, the harbour is magnificent. These players from all around the country. Sense of value. Good win percentage for her. New captain here for Australia, her first World Cup captaining. She'll be hoping to pick another World Cup trophy up for her country.
It will be Bell from the pavilion end. It's an odd field they've got. Very, very square offside. There's a gully in. Short third, a gully, a backward point on the boundary.
Likes to give herself some room. Beth Mooney, throw the hands at it, wants to attack forward of the wicket in that extra cover, potentially going over as well. Straight away moves her feet, gets a little too far away from herself. Has been guilty of nicking the odd one, just being out of position.
Yeah, she likes to go over extra cover. Can't give herself too much room because it will go square. Follows a good bowling and a run-out chance, non-strikers end, she misses. She misses, she had 3 stumps to aim at. And Lauren Bell tumbled and turned and missed.
Well, good commitment there from Georgia Vole. Just wasn't expecting that Lauren Bell would put that in a follow-through. Wonderful effort from Lauren Bell to get that delivery. Just couldn't get the ball on track, and it would have been out with a direct hit.
Australia missed the stumps a few times in the field. England won already.
It's just firm.
61 of just 36 deliveries against the West Indies. And that's my point about Beth Mooney. You think she's just going to bat through, and then you look up, she's nearly going at 200 strike rate. She takes the aerial option so well. She doesn't overhit. Superb cricketer.
We hear a lot about Elise Perry reinventing herself and evolving, and Beth Mooney has pretty much done the same thing as well. Always was that consistent batter that was going around that 120, and she's really pushing that 140, 150 now all the time.
It's going to be wides and plenty on. That really swung. Georgia Vole went down for a little scoop. She couldn't reach it.
We've quite a lot of that, but I'm just wondering if going to work out, first of all, it's going to be a no ball. So they're keeping the eyes on the umpire, and it is confirmed.
Yeah, good shout, Ebbs. If it misses the cut strip, then it will be given as a no ball. And that did miss the cut strip, which means this will be a free hit.
I think she saw her moving. She was just trying to find a way, maybe just to miss her, but ended up way too much. This is a big moment.
Short, pulled hard. One bounce and towards the tavern. An expensive delivery that ended up because it was 4 plus wides, plus a free hit and another 4.
I like the thinking of the short ball from Bell. Vol does pick up length very, very quickly, but this was just far too short. And the fact that Vol could play that just on the shoulders, it needed to be around head height. It needed to be challenging her a little bit more than that in order to keep her quiet.
I actually think Vol's the key wicket here. On this pitch, it's quite hard to time the ball. You may have to muscle the ball to the boundary. And she has muscles, that is for certain. Bell struggling here. Another wide.
I think the difference here for Bell is that she's having batters come at her more than usually. You saw that ball that went wide. She was shaping it, almost trying to get it out the arc of the batter. Now worried about movement and around the crease. Goes down the leg side. She's got to calm herself to get through the last few balls.
Dragged down inside edge. What a comeback from Lauren Bell.
A slight lack of footwork there from Georgia Vol. Pitched in a good area as well from Bell. Nice lengths. No room for Vol to free the hands up, and just all she manages is get an inside edge on this one and play it on good areas. Stuck one, angled back through. Georgia Vol just batting out of the crease. That's the wicket that England needed. Georgia Vol was the danger player. Bell, wonderful bowling from her after a bit of a shaky start. Vol out for 9. Australia 17 for 1.
The hugely talented Phoebe Litchfield comes in at number 3, so Australia have 2 left-handers at the crease. The field doesn't change. Strike rate of 144. Down the pitch, down the ground. First ball of the final for Phoebe Litchfield. Disappears towards the pavilion for 4. An eventful over, 21 for 1.
Oh, I find that term deeply offensive, actually.
From the world's biggest series to
India, live on Sky 4.
The Golden Duck, just off the high street. 2 words, chow mein.
Classic dismissal on a slow, low pitch. In Australia, on bouncy pitches, it will bounce right up into the middle of the bat. Here at Lords, which is lower and slower, it's too close to cut. Drag on pitch this, definitely. Lindsay Smith into the attack.
Yeah, wonderful running from Litchfield. I mentioned before that Smith, her record against the left-handers isn't overly great, so they might have been holding off on her just a fraction longer, but she's been so good in the power play. England have to rely on her to get her overs done in this moment. Try and get the economy rate down, even if she can't pick up the wicket.
The one thing I thought about this was actually how, after a difficult over, Lauren Bell actually really bowled that delivery, bowled it into the surface. One of the few that she wasn't floating, but she got her through her action, got a bit extra.
Hard slog sweep, and it spins away from the fielder. Danny Gibson didn't judge it particularly well.
Wonderful shot. Put the ball down very strong through that area. It's difficult in this power play. You're only allowed to have 2 fielders out. Where do you put them to fielders forward at the wicket at the moment? It's not like a Mooney and a Litchfield. You can hit it at will anywhere.
Closing in on 1,000 ICC World Cup runs in this format. He needs 18 for 2,500 T20 internationals, and Gardner needs one more 6 for 50 in this format. Now she's got all the sweeps and reverse sweeps as Phoebe Litchfield switch hits. For 1.
Litchfield has been enjoying herself, not just on the cricket field, but off it. Did you see the images of her at Wimbledon?
Singing Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Cheering up the crowd. I also noticed all the other Australians hiding, diving, putting their sunglasses on. They're getting the fans for sure revved up.
Clear game plan from Australia to go hard. Phoebe Litchfield's only had a couple of deliveries. She's tried to belt them both down the ground. They're trying to get ahead of the game. They've got a long batting lineup, trying to use this power play. Will it bring England wickets?
And Phoebe Litchfield's just a ball of energy at the crease. It's really difficult to predict what she's going to do. She keeps the bowlers on their toes constantly. Very innovative, very entertaining. She'll be hoping to get some runs. Probably hasn't quite had the World Cup that she would have liked.
I predict her heavily in favour of Australia at the moment. That's why England need to get wickets and take wickets and keep getting wickets. Punch down the ground and towards the pavilion. Australia on the charge here. They are not letting England settle.
Yeah, great footwork there from Mooney, coming down the wicket, just changing the angles and just coming in from Bell around the over the wicket to the left-hander. Punches this straight, was able to beat the mid-on fielder. Just wonderful striking from Mooney, just knows her own game so well.
The biggest difference I'm seeing between the two sides is the movement around the crease from the batter. They had the wicketkeeper up so much, even in the power play. Australia and England were rooted to the crease. Danny Wyatt went nowhere. So now they're having to think. There is just so much room for movement, just toying at the moment.
They're listening to you, Ebony, because Amy Jones has just asked the 12ers to bring the helmet on so that Amy Jones can stand up. Now, not easy to standing up to Lauren Bell. With the new ball, she does it to the old ball, which does mean the Australian batter should stay at home in their crease a bit more.
Straight away, you see that false shot straight away. Amy Jones, excellent up at the stumps. Very, very good. We saw Mooney, how effective she was up at the stumps today as well. And just can learn from the fact that they batted first on this wicket. They know what it can do. There's observations, and I think this is a smart move from England.
Gives herself room. It's gone up, and it's gone over mid-on. Sophie Eccleston gives chase. And a couple of bounces away to the boundary.
That's an outstanding outstanding connection that show me the Mooney. She's certainly going to put it on display today. She's in some good form again, gives herself a little bit of wicket, gives up the stumps, takes on mid-on. Well, they're upfield. Moment on the boundary is back.
I have to say as well, you watch her, she can't move out of the crease, but she's still moving laterally. She's just creating so much room.
Fingertips, much needed fingertips from Amy Jones. Should be a wide, way down there it is.
Well, that pace, it's pretty tough for the keeper to take one down leg. She's a very, very good keeper, but it was difficult.
Oh, beautifully played. Beautifully played. Save your legs, Beth Mooney. That is just timing, touch and class. 45 for 1.
Oh, that's 100 on the board for me. 700 in dog runs.
Send money like a bow with Remitry.
And the innocent dachshund walks free. Court case pending.
The difference in intent is there for everyone to see. England were 20 for 1, rooted to the crease, 45 for 1. Australia shuffling across the crease, down the pitch.
Litchfield added in the semi-final to Matthews in a reverse sweep, so she's not going to make that same mistake here as we just look at Beth Mooney. The guide behind the wicket, not a big one for hitting behind the wickets, prefers to hit forward.
Goes to the hard sweep. And that will run down the slope and evade the diving Danny Gibson.
That's where Phoebe Litchfield has learned her lesson. This time gets across in front of the stumps, takes the stumps out of play. Sure it's going to hit it outside the line. Plays traditional sweep. Does favour the reverse sweep. Hockey player. Excellent hands, great wrists. A little bit of width there, maybe a little bit of luck, a bit of that bounce that we've seen here, a little inconsistent today. Just caught the top edge, didn't quite carry to short third.
What a shot that is. Up and over. It won't go. It does go all the way. Super batting. Over wide mid-off for 650 up for Australia in just 4 overs and 4 deliveries.
Australia look in a completely different gear here, where England struggled to find rhythm and timing on this surface. We've just seen a brilliant sweep backed up with a 6 down the ground. They've got to do some work here. They've got to find some magic. It might be throw the ball to Eccleston a little bit earlier than they hoped.
A real test for Nat Sciver-Brunt. She's been excellent with the bat. This is now a test of her captaincy. How does she get this game going back in England's direction?
It's not often you see the pirouette at the end of a shot, but she's got the elegance, she's got the innovation, And that wonderful shot, kept the head down beautifully on that shot, getting known for the no-look drive down the ground. Magnificent from Phoebe Litchfield.
Well, considering you was going to have to do something proper at lunch, because you're going out.
5 overs done, 55 for 1 Australia.
Number 96 needed. Lindsay Smith is back. None for 8 after
We
1
have
over.
nice pie, but he has cheaper pie than what we have.
Deep mid wicket and a long on alongside me, Isha Gur and Dinesh Karthik now. So obviously the driver's seat belongs to the Australians, the excellent Australia's team, and English fans are wondering how can they engineer another wicket? Any thoughts?
Well, they've just got to try and build some pressure at this point in time. It is still a wicket that is holding when you bowl off a good length, the spinners. Where did it pitch?
Yeah, I might as well.
Left arm round the wicket, that angle always very difficult to try and get it pitched in line.
I ain't got anything. Right?
But 2 left-handers in the middle, 2 very good players of spin. I just question that decision to go to Lauren Bell for a second over in this power play, very clearly pitching outside the line.
Belgium posted on their.
You can see that pace.
Belgium posted on their social media.
Just helping Australia a bit. I thought save her for the back end where you can have 4 outside the inner circle. She can bowl her cutters, her leg cutters on this pitch would have been very effective. Bring on Sophie Eccleston, your premier spinner in the power play while they're going after you.
But they've never beat Belgium. Of course, yeah.
Finds empty territory. And Beth Mooney, the great Beth Mooney, at the moment is leading the charge.
You can't do what? You mean what their Prime Minister did? No, you can't.
This is outstanding from Australia. They have sealed the deal in the power play itself. If at all England had a chance, it is only if they struck early in the power play. And not just 1 wicket, even 2 or 3. And what you're seeing here is absolutely a sporting empire in green and gold. They're just so good. It's a dynasty, what you see. Relentless in pressure. A single to finish off things.
I didn't say corrupt, but
time for drinks.
Along them lines.
Don't tell me to silly
You can't
do
what they did.
So that.
Did it benefit him? No.
One single ingredient.
Because they came up against better players.
Whole grain wheat.
So obviously, you know all the leads. There's all the leads, isn't there? All the lead pages. There's some cocky and funny remarks.
It simply does it.
Coming off them pages.
A winning formula. It's lights out, away we go. From pole position on the track to high-speed Starlink Wi-Fi in the sky. Teamwork that drives exceptional service every time. Because when you've got the fastest drivers in the world and Starlink Wi-Fi in the sky, free for all passengers, the experience is world-class. Qatar Airways, official airline partner of Formula One.
So what brings you to Curry's?
She says I don't do it for a normal...
It's your performance anxiety.
classic misalignment. This powerful Lenovo Yoga Copilot Plus PC is powered by an Intel Core Ultra Series 3 processor for performance that lasts.
Maybe just try turning me off and on?
Find laptop love again. Get the new Lenovo Aura Copilot Plus PC from $43.92 a month. Curries beyond expectations.
Out there, it's just another day. But in here, it's my space. Space that makes the everyday feel extraordinary. The award-winning Lexus LBX self-charging hybrid.
Send money like a pro with Remitly.
Yeah.
I have always felt misunderstood.
Someone else
no one
to
ever got to see the vulnerable
grab
side. Never.
The best in the world battle it out at Royal Birkdale in the final major of the year.
Unbelievable scenes.
Watch it live on Sky Sports.
Alright then.
Oh,
Of course
I
not.
find that term deeply offensive, actually.
It's I know, yeah, but Carmen.
Should be so pleased with how far this game has come in 2009.
Alright, we'll do.
The curtain raiser to the men, and now the women have their own stage, and they were belting out Adele in the Oval the other night during that partnership between Heather Knight and Nat Simmerbrunt, and in the field. Can that just get this team going once again? They would have had a hard Stern talking to at that break after the power play. Can they pull it back?
Free again. Should land safely. Chance to come back for a couple.
And that's where Beth Mooney is so good. She obviously didn't get hold of that one, but it's just the angles that she creates. She can just hit the ball anywhere, really. 360 around the ground. That's what makes her so consistent. She's got that fighting mentality as well in the big knockout matches.
I just wondered, DK, do you go to Sophie Eccleston next with two lefty, even though they're two lefties at the group?
It looks like it. They have to try and look for a wicket. Sophie Eccleston, obviously one of the premier performers. They look to her with her experience, but I'm amazed by Australia, purely because the attitude they've brought to this chase. The first ball of the innings, when they came, Georgia Wall hit it for a boundary. Phoebe Litchfield walks in, she steps out and smacks it to the boundary. Beth Mooney played an aggressive shot, didn't get a boundary in the first up. So the attitude towards chasing, they know that if they're aggressive and they get off to a good start in the power play, they almost kill the game there, which is pretty much what is done. I mean, it's just a joke what I'm going to say, but hear me out here. In the drinks break, the song that was playing was an Adele song that was about heartbreak. So, being in England, I can understand.
Now, DK. As small runs flow off the bat of Beth Mooney, and that is the 50 partnership for these two. Punching hard into the heart of England.
The runs are coming thick and fast now. They showed the intent at the start. England are bleeding. No matter what they do, most of it seems to go to the boundary. 53 the partnership already. And Bish, I was talking to you about why Australia have been so good in the power play. Just have a look at this. Every batter who's gotten in has used the crease, just moving laterally, creating questions. Lauren Bell couldn't get her usual line and length right because every time she landed it there on the spot, they were either in front. Look at Phoebe Litchfield, they're going deep in the crease. And then the spinners as well, knowing the field, just getting the angles right. Outstanding stuff.
come back to that actually in the next over. I think it's fascinating for the women's game, any game, 72 for 1. Desperation time for England with Sophie Eccleston now, where she has not even been hit her boundary in this phase, 7-14 in the tournament. And I love the analysis at the end of that last over, DK, because I'm big on hitting your good length, Isha, and you would know this as a seamer yourself, hitting that good length in that power play of those 15 overs. But what Australia has perhaps the best at is moving laterally or moving down the pitch to take deliveries of that good length.
Yeah, we saw Australia very prepared for Heather Knight when she came to the crease. Keeper came up immediately. It took a little while for England to go to that plan of Amy Jones stood up to the stumps. That was before they'd already come out the crease and looking to upset the length of the bowler. This is a big moment now. Sophie Eccleston, their primary spinner. What can she do here? Does she have the belief to try and extract a wicket? Australia have been so good against her in the past.
What was a 150 chase in a matter of 6 overs? They brought it down to a runner ball. Now, if you're a bowling team, you're thinking, what do I do? Now, am I looking for wickets here? Because if you want wickets, you need to bring in an attacking fielder. And every time you bring an extra fielder up, they're going up and over. That is why they've won this comp 6 times already. And it almost feels like they're definitely a big foot in the door in this World Cup as well. And 6 out of 9 is, you can imagine.
Hard to bowl too when she's on the low Litchfield, because she scores in so many different areas behind and in front of the stump.
Again, a great example. She knew that T-square leg and short fine leg are up, so she walks in looking for that sweep. She gets one straight on the stumps, commits to the shot, doesn't second guess herself, commits to the shot still. It's a full ball. Sophie Eccleston has done well to get it slightly fuller than normal, but the intent gets at the boundary.
First boundary in this phase in the tournament against Eccleston.
And one thing, Phoebe Litchfield, she isn't satisfied with one boundary. When she hits a boundary, she wants to go back-to-back boundary. This one, she steps out looking over covers.
They've done all the hard work, Australia. It means that they won't panic if there's a dot ball or a 1.
The insurance of Beth Mooney with all the experience, 80 for 1.
They have to find something here, England. They need someone rallying this side in a final. No better opportunity. They're well behind in the game. Sophie Eccleston trying to get this side going, get them firing. Can they get a breakthrough?
I remember very well, Vish, in a couple of years ago, the previous World Cup when Australia bowled out in UAE. You could see the dejected faces. It's not something that you're used to seeing, Australia bowling out of World Cup. New Zealand went on to win the comp. And then the planning started. Alyssa Ely, was she the captain? Are you going to go for another captain? There were decisions to be made. Talia McGraw was the vice captain at that stage. But they then went to Sophie Molineux. So many decisions were taken, and hard decisions at times, but you can see those decisions taken over a course of time now is leading them to play the way they are, dominating again. And England as well. I mean, Charlotte Edwards taking 1 year before. The way they play to what they're doing now is phenomenal.
What will Danny Gibson bring here, Isha?
A lot of heart. She's someone who doesn't like to go down without a fight, but she does mix up her pace as well. Has a knack of taking wickets. Needs someone to just fire them up, just give them some sort of belief.
She never stands still, Phoebe Litchfield.
Okay.
Well ahead of the game. To get the feeling she'll try to continue. To continue being very active is what I mean at the crease. That is some power. Behind the wicket or in front of the wicket, she has so much talent for still a very young player.
As yet, been an over where there's not a boundary being scored. Phoebe Litchfield generally likes the sweeps and the reverse sweeps, but this time hammers it down the ground. Oh, this Australian team is special.
Well, this tournament we've said goodbye to some very, very impressive players, and it was an emotional time as we saw the end of careers of Floyd Molly, Susie Day, Sophie Devine, who have carried the mantle for not only their country with distinction, but the women's game generally. Shed a tear for them, Isha? Shed a tear for the three greats?
Of course. I mean, I played against them. That's how long they've been playing for. It was a very poignant moment to say goodbye to them. They've offered so much in this sport.
She's been around. Let me ask this question after this over is done. A bit of confusion there. Is there a chance? Litchfield is quick.
We have an umpire review for a run out. Just look at the try screen now and start rolling through for me, please. Okay, balls on the glove. That's there. In the air. Grounded there. Yeah, grounded there. Thank you. Have decision for the big screen.
Not out, and 87 for. Surprise move. Activity you see from Phoebe Litchfield on the field, and she's the same way when she's around the colleagues and in the dressing room, striking up conversations, busy as ever. This is Phoebe Litchfield. Beth Wheely, who is the epitome of cool and calm and consistency. It's been a great career for her. Change of bowling. Lauren Bell is back. Got to be pretty tight with her lines with the field set.
And we'll see more and more of that from Lauren Bell. Out the back of the hand, the slow balls, the cutters as well. She was halfway down the pitch. Centimetres.
Glorious. Deserving, actually, to be played once again by Litchfield on this magnificent occasion in front of this global audience.
You want to know why Phoebe Litchfield is rated as one of the best talents in this women's game? It's probably one of the reasons. She stepped out, picked the slow one, held a shot for a second, and then the flow of the bat coming through so beautifully.
Yeah, that's gone as well. So the pressure telling on this big occasion on Lauren Bell.
Well, this was the difference between Australia batting and England batting. Natseva-Brunt had a couple of those herself towards the back end of that first innings. She wasn't able to take that opportunity. Batting with such purpose and intimidation factor here, these two.
Not complete yet, but again, you think of all sorts of things. Both teams wanted to chase the last 3 World Cups won by the teams batting first, but the modern game, I think the mindset is so very different in terms of chasing.
It's a belief in chasing down any total of late, because they play so much franchise cricket. They end up chasing a lot of huge totals. They believe that also the power in the women's game that's improved so much. Phoebe Litchfield is so versatile with the way she's picking length here. Just beautiful to watch. It's very hard to bowl a couple of dot balls at her. Look at their strike points. Some really in front around the 4-meter mark, and then some really deep in the crease as well. So as a bowler, what's the length you're bowling? You almost need to be prepared when they're moving. What is the delivery that you're going to bowl? That's so key when you're planning for a batter like Mooney or Litchfield.
The history of the tournament, only 8 times has 150 or more been successfully chased. 6 in this tournament. And we might have a 7th today. 98 for 1 at the halfway mark.
The Golden Duck, just off the high street. 2 words, chow mein.
Send money like a pro with Remitly.
Oh, that's 100 on the board for me. 700 in dog runs.
Well, looking at the comparison at this stage, Australia comfortably ahead, 98 for 1 versus 68 for 3. Every column struggling there, really, deficit in runs. But some people are having fun in the sun. We got the floss dance going. And they're willing for England somehow to make things happen. Well, Lindsay Smith into her 3rd over. And at the halfway stage, Pricey, you have to say, Australia looking pretty disciplined and comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable. 52 required now from 59 balls. So once it's under that 6 and over, I can just take the foot off the pedal a little bit. I just have a feeling these two are not going to do that. I think this is the way they like to play. This is the style that Australia likes to score in, and they feel very, very comfortable when they're on the attack.
4 out in the deep. And they need protection because that single brings up the 100. 100 for 1 at the halfway stage. Leaving less than runnable.
Such a clinical manner in which they go about things. We talk about intent in T20 cricket, and Australia has loads of it. But not without having that kind of depth in that batting order that we've always admired as an opposition, playing against a tough Australian side. Julia Price-Ross spoke about the fact that they are more comfortable in a situation where they're attacking the ball, but it also goes hand in hand with the kind of risk and reward. For Phoebe Litchfield, it might be a risk or a reward, or for Alice Capsey, it can be either. A similar kind of a shot was tried by Alice Capsey. She was castled. But Phoebe Litchfield hits it comfortably to a boundary. And that's where you, as a captain, always thinking or always falling behind, understanding what is that field that you want to set.
Well, she's gone for the reverse, and that is an incredible shot. Such quick hands. This is going to hurt England.
Well, this is a favourite of Phoebe Litchfield's, and it's also a fan favourite. The spectators love it. A bit of innovation, very, very confident. As soon as she saw the ball outside her leg stump, straight away, fielder was up, two of them behind the wicket. Her connection of that over the top, she was never thinking on the ground. She's thinking six all the way. Phoebe Litchfield, wonderful batting.
Lindsay Smith's got some thinking to do. Not so much the crowd, but she's had to change her angle a few times in this over. And in the end, gets away with a dot ball to finish. End of the over. 107 for 1. You mentioned, Pricey, that with that angle for Litchfield, she knew she could play that reverse. Lindsay Smith changed the angle coming around the wicket. But that kind of came into her game plan, didn't it?
Yeah, straight away. As soon as she knew it was outside that leg stump, she was going across the line of it. She's made a few errors with LBWs and getting a pad in the way. As soon as she recognised that line, straight away she was going for that shot.
I don't know if you call that a worm, or some sort of accelerated worm, but the one above is moving at good speed for Australia. Well ahead of the rain here in a final, which they've been to many times. Won 6. They won them in blocks of 3. 3, gave it away, came back and fought for it again. Of course, New Zealand, current holders. Just a chip. Didn't try and overhit it, just up and over that inner ring.
Not the most easiest stroke to play against Sophie Ecclestone. She's got the pace, she's got the accuracy, she's got the best numbers against an Australian batting order. But look how easy it is for Beth Mooney, allowing that angle to come into her and then making use of that bottom hand to go over the cover fielder. Timing is everything, but that balance in that shot for Beth Mooney allows her to get those runs. It looks pretty when it comes off. If it doesn't, you're always thinking why the wicket ball that you have to hit.
Beauty, bit of an arm ball there. 57 miles per hour.
I think England are going to have that ball on replay. They haven't had too many wins today, and this one's gone the other way. Really well bowled there from Ecclestone. Seeing Mooney didn't really have an answer to that one. Good length. That's what England need more of.
Yeah, most times bowlers try to keep the ball slightly further away from batters like Beth Mooney and Phoebe Litchfield, because you don't want them to have a very easy, comfortable hit when it's pitched in line of the stumps, and that's possibly playing into the hand of such attacking batters.
Taken a quick single there. Those two have just bumped into each other. They're kind of giggling. But it kind of sums up so far England's day.
Well, that's outstanding running from Australia. It wasn't really a single there, but they just took the pace off it enough to know the communication between these two. Phoebe Litchfield even had a chance to have a bit of a look at it, and England are just haven't got it working for them at the moment. They're the singles they've got to cut off, find the pressure, try and switch this somehow on Australia.
And she goes for the glamour shot. Nowhere near it that time. She did get hold of the previous for a nice 6, but these two building an excellent partnership. 95 of just 61. Both on the edge of milestones. Oh, wide down that leg side. I feel like sometimes the England bowlers just get a bit nervous, hide the ball a bit because of the fact that they know the intent Australia are coming with. Hands in the head there for Ecclestone. End of the over, 113 for 1.
And the innocent Dachshund walks free. Court case pending.
Think of what we could do together. Watch the complete Wicked saga all in one place. Available Friday, only on Sky Cinema. Sky Sports presents the first ever women's test match at the home of cricket. England versus India on Sky Sports.
Don't tell me to silly mid off. You silly mid off. So there.
Just the 1 wicket lost for Australia, and two batters well set here. This partnership, 96 of 63 balls. Afternoon and evening, really nicely set up. Perfect temperature and conditions. No doubt the crowd are enjoying. Well, she's going for the quick single, and in the end, comfortable. Mooney continues her class in a final, picks up a half century, and that takes her to her 9th T20 World Cups, equal with Nat Sciver-Brunt. So that tells you those two at the top continuing to handle pressure and lead from the front.
Well, Beth Mooney averages 90 in ICC finals, so she was always going to be a bit of a danger player for England, and they just haven't been able to find a way through her defences. Not that there were too many defences today.
I have a feeling that's a stat the analyst might have hidden from the team. You don't want to know how good a player is in those moments.
Gone back to her best bowler, Charlie Dean. That's Nat Sciver-Brunt. She went to her right at the start of the defence of 150. She's gone back to her again from the nursery end.
Just trying to hide the ball again. I've seen a few wides today. Lauren Bell started it. And struggled with her line when she saw Australia moving. You can hear Dean. Asking the question, but absolutely no interest.
Interesting the feel that Charlie Dean's got here to Phoebe Litchfield. The fact that she can hit both sides of the field. As an off-spinner going away from the left-hander, she's only got 4 fielders on that offside. She's really going to encourage Phoebe Litchfield to really try and hit that boundary out through cover.
She was so livid with herself in the previous over, Phoebe Litchfield. This is a regulation sweep. They didn't go for the review. They didn't need to. It was pitching outside leg stump. In the last over, when she missed a couple of occasions trying to reverse sweep, she was livid. And a strike player like Phoebe Litchfield in the company of Beth Mooney, they make each and every ball as an event. That's why the 100 of the partnership of just 69 balls has also come up for Australia.
Bit of a fist pump in the middle between these two left-handers. Wonderful partnership. Only 69 deliveries and haven't really appeared troubled at all by England. It's nearly like they're batting on a different pitch from the first innings.
They're batting in a different tournament, it seems.
Bowled, and England desperately needed something. Charlie Dean, a bit of feist in her face there as she clean bowls Litchfield, who was on the edge of a milestone there.
Wanted a wicket early on from Charlie Dean. That's why the first over was given to her. It didn't go that way for England. Into her third over. Pushing it slightly quicker, slightly fuller. She knew it from the ball. The moment it left her hand, it was getting into the stumps. It was just about Phoebe Litchfield missing the line. She walks back for a 48, 117 for 2 Australia.
Litchfield played brilliantly. I have to say, took the momentum away from England. She has to do the long walk back, but she'll feel when she reflects back on it, as long as Australia get over the line, that she has given a lot to this side in the final, taken the pressure off, allowed a platform for one of their big and most experienced players to come in. Perry in at 4. Has been leading the run scoring for Australia in this tournament and has battled injury to make sure she can be part of this final. She comes in though with the game in an excellent position. 185 runs. And the periometer, there it goes, Perry from extra mild. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Just the quicker ball there from Charlie Dean. Wonderful bowling. Up to 95 kilometres an hour. Wasn't expecting that one. That's what England need more of.
Well, that might just trickle away. Big chase on from Lindsay Smith. Couldn't cut it off. And the boundaries keep coming. 30 needed from 40. Australia still motoring.
Well, Mooney, I keep saying she's strong in that area, but she's strong in that area as well. Just tucks this one off the hip nicely. Uses the pace from the bowler. Gets enough width on it to be able to split the two fielders on the leg side and races away for a 4, despite an excellent effort from Lindsay Smith, one of the better fielders in this English team.
Oh, just squeezed through, beat everyone. But this ball is racing away. Another valuable 4 runs there for Australia.
The value that Mooney brings to this Australian lineup is outstanding. We always speak about her getting runs for Australia in different positions, but as a wicketkeeper who's out there for 20 overs, as a batter who walks in facing the first ball, running those runs hard, never allowing the pressure to get onto the Australian batting order or in the dugout. Very adept on the front foot, then on the back foot. In that previous boundary, Julia Price, we were talking about the use of wrist was so evident.
Well, she got a hand on that. I think all is calm. From a moment, there might have been a fraction of excitement.
This would be a disaster for all the Elise Perry fans out there being run out the non-strikers end. Didn't get a hand on that at all. Australia breathed a collective sigh around the country.
Well, they're just being sure here, sort of thing that if it wasn't looked at properly, I'm sure there'd be criticism, so they're taking their time. So just taking their time here. I'm sure Freya Kemp would kind of know as well. She's not really showing any signs of expecting it to be out.
Just roll through quickly. Yep. So just get there. Get there. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. No touch. Thank you. So decision to the big screen.
Well, confirmed in the end, not out. I didn't sense it with the reactions from everybody on Perry to Freya Kemp. And Mooney continues her ferocious form. She's currently 210 plus runs knocked out in finals. She does not get out in the last 3 that she's taken part in. Been part of 2 100 partnerships today with Litchfield, and of course before with Healy. Continues to just churn out runs. At some point, you're going to have to tell us why she's so good. And a welcome dot ball to finish the over. 14 overs gone, 129 for 2, and it will be drinks.
Oh, I find that term deeply offensive, actually.
Get package holidays from £399 per person. And last minute summer flights from £32 one way. EasyJet, get out there.
Tell me what you remember.
Troy. We won the war.
And then what?
The Odyssey, in cinemas July 17.
At Morrison's, get 3 for £10 on selected fresh meat and fish. Mix and match on over 100 favourites for your summer get-togethers.
More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
Send money like a pro with Remitly.
Hello, this is Claire from Verisure. The sensor on your kitchen window has triggered your alarm and we can see someone coming in.
No, we're in Mallorca at the minute. What do I do?
Look, we're here for you and the police are on their way.
Oh, thank you. Could you please keep me updated?
Yes, of course we will.
Nothing was stolen. The police arrested the intruder. Last year, we intervened in 4,493 emergencies in the UK. Be safer. Be sure. Very sure.
Is it true you were her friend?
Yes.
He and I are best friends.
The only friend I ever had.
And I have so many friends, but only one that matters.
Enjoy more of the latest blockbusters with Sky Cinema.
The Golden Duck, just off the high street. 2 words, chow mein.
10.33, that's pretty much the story. That was the run rate in the launch phase. They completely owned the first 6 overs, only losing the 1 wicket of Volt. As we come into the accelerate phase, which has pretty much been from ball 1. So Sophie Molyneux, if my maths is right, just her 13th match as captain of Australia. Sitting in the balcony at the moment, or in the dugout, I should say, watching and waiting. And even the best in the world can miss one.
Well, the bad news for England is that, as we have a look at this ball from Charlie Dean, not a lot of movement in the wicket. The bad news is Australia are number 1 in this phase as well with the bat.
Sold out crowd here at Lord's today. No surprises too when you've got 2 of the best in the world up against each other. 28,887 today, but a reminder right throughout the tournament across the 7 venues from north to south, east to west here in England. People have turned out in their droves. We've had record-breaking round crowds and a total as well when you combine all the group phases and as well as finals. A massive shout out to everyone who's come along and supported this tournament. Smith does well. Perry should be gone, but she's not, because in the hurry to get the ball in the hand and out, it goes nowhere near the stumps and gives Perry a chance to get back.
Oh, wonderful piece of fielding though, and just got to this ball beautifully from Lindsay Smith. Left-hander, didn't look great with the right-hand throw. Bounce throw from the circle.
The hamstring's fine. For Elise Perry. That was a test.
She had a bit of running to do in the field today. Down the slope, up the slope, everything looked all right. There was a bit of nervousness for Australia in the days leading into this game. As Perry hurries through comfortably for the single there.
Well, Beth Mooney certainly isn't slowing things down now that Elise Perry's come out. She's been, no doubt, warming up on the sideline. Just a little cold at the moment where Beth Mooney is on fire.
As Perry looks to go up and over, the field was up on the offside. That's awareness. That is Elise Perry. That is the end of the over. No, we've still got one more. Apologies, I forgot the wide.
Come on, Mel. We're just getting it as an Australian team. We're just getting closer. Perry has stepped out to hit a boundary. Wait, there are still 15 more required.
Elise Perry very strong against the right arm off spin as well. So they've dropped the field back now to long off. They know she likes to hit straight, loves to use her feet. She's been excellent as well this tournament with her footwork to spinners.
24 and 25. 2 years Australia hasn't had a World Cup. I can understand the excitement. 137 for 2.
Do you see a smile on Phoebe Litchfield's face after she's gone out? But when she looks up at the scoreboard and realises that she's played a pivotal role in this run chase, you can understand why. 48 from 35, 100-run partnership with Mooney. And at the moment, feels like a question of when. 14 runs needed by Australia, a team that does not have an ICC trophy in their cabinet at the moment. It is rarefied air for them. Rita Ora before the start of today's game. The music has been blaring beautifully right throughout today as Eccleston comes in. And Clean Bandit are probably warming up out on the nursery ground at the moment. Nass, you got a favourite song that you're looking forward to?
No answer to that, Mel Jones.
I think we're the furthest thing from Shelley Nitschke's mind as well. One of the greats of the game, playing-wise, Shelley Nitschke, coach of Australia. It's the first time ever across women's 50 over or T20 World Cups that two women have coached the sides in a World Cup final.
I think she's coached the side very well, and her backroom staff. There's been a difference in class in the sides, but also in the way that the attention to detail for Australia, the field setting, the planning is absolutely spot on.
They won't go on Smith. And I think to that point, Nass and Tash, is that Charlotte Edwards is late into this group, and you look at what she's been able to do with them in a reasonably short period of time, and you'd hazard a guess that within the next 2 years coming up to Pakistan in 2028, that this will be England's side will be a different side again. Needs to get a hand on it and does.
Yeah, one's a skill thing, definitely. But Australia's planning for today. You can tell right from ball one, the field they set to Danny White-Hodge, deep point, but bowls straight. The field they set for Amy Jones, a mid-wicket. A side like Sri Lanka didn't have a mid-wicket for Amy Jones, and everyone knows that. The way they bowled to Heather Knight, the keeper up.
Eccleston, has she got Mooney late in this run chase?
Eccleston's keen. She's trying to convince her captain she has.
We have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. Check the feet, absent fair delivery. Just look at the split screen now. She's coming in. Gap there. Gap on the left. It's close to the bat. Bat's crossing over the ball. Can we go to the ultra edge, please? Standing by the ultra edge. Are we doing an ultra edge too? Ultra edge coming up now. Get there. Brilliant. Just roll that through for me. Back in. Okay, just go through slowly. There's gap there. School on foot there. So roll through again for me. I just got on 2 screens at the same time. So if we just take the ball back in front of the bat. Okay, just pause there. So there's a gap there. Next frame for me, please. There's a gap there on the left. Ball's passing across the bat. Sorry, the bat's passing across the ball. Just roll it back for me. Just roll it back for me. Yep, and roll through. Yep, thank you. Satisfied that's the ball on the foot there. Satisfied there's no bat. We'll move on to ball tracking. Ready, please. Ball tracking coming up now. Pitching line, impacting line. We'll get to setting. So go back and forth with numbers so we can sort of change that out.
Beth Mooney is finally out in the T20 final. She's hit 216 runs across the 2020-2023, and today an additional 64 runs in a pivotal knock for Australia. She departs with Australia 140 for 3.
We speak a lot about Nancy McGrun and how good she is under pressure. I sometimes feel that Beth Mooney goes under the radar. Most stats just told the full story. She is always so consistent for Australia. She is always there when they need her. They've got such a long batting lineup. She doesn't want to leave it to anyone else down the order. What a knock from Beth Mooney.
Ash Gardner comes out to the middle, and she's had an impressive tournament with the bat in hand. A half-century here on this ground, and runs for the Rowdy Games, and an impressive run chase. She's at the scoreboard, and she says Australia need 11. For her final over. This is whether or not it was sliding, but often when it's so full. Her strike rate when she comes down the wicket in this tournament is over 200, and she's put it on display yet again.
Yeah, England have no other option but to bring fielders up. They've got more in than they need to. The damage was done in the power play. They were ahead of the curve, Australia, so they could milk for a while. Now England have to bring the fielders up. They'll start smashing it again. It has been a template on how to go about a run chase.
She wants to go up and over. Instead, she picks out Eccleston. That's a sharp catch. It would be a miracle, but they are not giving up, England.
They are. Feel that Australia are going to run home with this, but another good catch from Sophie Eccleston. Took two really good catches in the semi-final. Just going to check that Sophie Eccleston got her fingers underneath the ball here. Good diving catch coming forward.
Yeah, Perry stands and waits, but I think she knows her fate. Everything looked pretty good. And that is excellence in the field. Diving forward off a hit that was flat and hard. Fingers underneath the ball. This is the difficulty in the game sometimes, though, isn't it? When everything feels right and you start to slow things down.
I know, I hear you, I know. That's funny. We'll just tell all the recording, shall we? Look at the catcher instead of...
But Perry, who had thought that that was a clean catch, was only metres from the boundary line. Sophie Eccleston, in her heart of hearts, knew that that went straight into the hands. Likewise, the rest of the England team. Likewise, a lot of us watching the game as well.
Well, Charlie Dean has just had to step in there because Sophie Eccleston was marching towards the umpire. She couldn't believe what she'd seen. We can't believe what we've seen. That was just a clear catch there, fingers underneath. Charlie Dean did well there because Eccleston could well have been in trouble.
Yeah, well, she's had to captain this side with Nat Sivabrunt out of the team with that calf injury. It's a future leader in the making right there by Charlie Dean. Nat Sivabrunt came in and spoke to the umpire. And if this was earlier in the game, it could have been even worse in terms of the reaction. Instead, though, we continue.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to be the moment that changes the course of the game, to be honest, but it just looked clearly out. You know as a fielder when you get your fingers underneath. And you look at it so many times, as you say, Mel, that just looks out. But if you slow it down, and this is where Charlie Dean was really good. He just stepped in and said, Sophie, you're going to have to go back.
Well, I reckon Sophie Eccleston's probably winning that battle there.
You pick your battles, though, too, don't you?
Yeah, and that's just the frustration of the game situation. England know that they haven't put their best foot forward, in particular with the bat. I feel they didn't go hard enough. That's that frustration just coming out there.
Six from the over, 1-4-6 for 3. That's Sivabrunt. What a rollercoaster tournament she's had as well. Started off so well in match number 1 against Sri Lanka, and that was coming off the injury. Missed 3 matches with the calf injury, came back, batted so beautifully well. Charlie Dean captained wonderfully well in the matches that she wasn't there. need 5. And it is Perry and Gardner out in the middle, a pairing that put on 100 against India in a moment in their World Cup campaign here at this ground to have that record run chase of 170. And Eccleston, who thought that she had the catch of Perry in the last over, now has the ball in her hand. It should be one hit. It could be one hit. It's not going to be one hit. It's going to hit and roll, and England will not give up. I feel like she's had a little practice run here, Gardner. I don't think she's going to put the aggression away. And it's going to be brought up in not the greatest of ways for England, but Australia will take it. And in the backyard of their oldest foe, at the home of cricket, Australia have not just claimed their 7th World T20 title, they have evolved and raised the bar yet again. The aura of this team just deepens under new leadership. Sophie Molyneux, number 23, in only 6 months of captaincy, has created the perfect mix of intensity and aggression and fun and enjoyment. They are back, Australia, and they are better than ever.
Wow. This is so evolved because I didn't speak to Toya.
Yeah, she made it from the top now.
Yeah, you didn't say much of it.
Yep, normal service is resumed after a couple of quiet World Cups by their standards. Australia are back where they deserve to be, on top of the world. They really are an outstanding cricket team. Packed with all-rounders, packed with skill, and the intent they showed in the power play today was the difference between the two sides. England were good until they came up against the old enemy, which is Australia. And they still can't get past this Australian side. However much they tried, however much they improved, this Australian side are just too good for Charlotte Edwards and her team.
Seven 0 in World Cup finals to Australia. And it's been led by senior players like Perry and Mooney, but it has been the new captain, and this is scenes that she will remember. She said that her dream, her childhood dream, was to come to this ground and watch a test match with her dad. Well, her dad is here in the crowd today. There he is, mum and dad, proud parents, all the way from Bairnsdale in Victoria to watch their daughter, Sophie Molyneux, lead Australia to their 7th title. The coach is a left-arm orthodox spinner, the captain's a left-arm orthodox spinner, and the blueprint that has worked for them so well over all these years has worked again today. Mooney played a pivotal role with the bat, as she has done in the last 3 T20 World Cup finals, and she kept superbly well to boot.
Yeah, England will have to look at their batting. They're a little bit timid. When you play against Australia, you're going to have to get above par, and they were below par. 150 against most nations on this surface would have been a decent score, but against this Australian batting lineup, it was far from decent.
And it's no small task to silence this crowd, and that is exactly what Australia did. A very heavily weighted English crowd. The crowds have been incredible all tournament, all World Cup. They've managed to silence them, but the crowd will also appreciate the superiority of this Australian side. They are back at the top. Yeah, Australia, they did the hard work in the power play. Beth Mooney, once again, so good in ICC World Cup final. 64 for 49 for her. Litchfield came out with a bang as well. Really put England under pressure, and how fitting that Elise Perry, out there in the middle. We thought she might have been gone a couple of balls before. Just so fitting for Elise Perry in her 10th T20 World Cup to be out there and see Australia home.
They changed it today. They didn't start with Lindsay Smith with that new ball. They went with Charlie Dean. Lauren Bell just lost her radar and accuracy with the new ball. Eccleston with the 1 wicket. Smith 4 overs for 30. And there is the match summary in the final. Australia won the toss and said, we will have a bowl. They reduced England to 150 for 4. Still have run 58. That was a vital partnership with Freya Kent. In reply, Australia 153 for 3. Mooney, brilliant as ever. Litchfield, outstanding. So Australia win by 7 wickets.
9 150 plus scores chased in the history of the game. 7 of them have been in this tournament. Ebony Rainford-Brent is down on the ground.
Yeah, I'm here with the first World Cup winner we've had a chance to speak to. Annabelle, first of all, how's the emotion?
Oh, pretty surreal, to be honest, Seb. Yeah, don't have a lot for you at the moment, but it's a pretty cool feeling. Yeah, obviously here at Lord's, like, what better place to win a World Cup final, and I'm sure we'll celebrate pretty hard.
How proud of you are you and your team, and why has it been such a good team effort?
Yeah, I mean, all throughout the tournament we've had different contributors, different people stand up, not relying on any one person, and we showed that again today. I thought the bowlers did an exceptional job to hold them to that total, and then we just played with absolute freedom with the bat. It was pretty cool to watch.
What do you think of the occasion? Obviously, Rita Ora, also just the crowd and everything that went with it.
Yeah, unbelievable scenes. Huge thanks to everyone who turned out. It was such a good atmosphere. And I think, you know, an occasion like this deserves a crowd like this and an event. So, yeah, incredible job for everyone who's put this event together.
Celebrations tonight. Come on, give us a hint. What's going to be happening?
Oh, I hope so. Melanie lets her hair down and gets close, because she can do that, and she thoroughly deserves to enjoy tonight. She's done an exceptional job leading the group. But yeah, I'm sure the girls will go pretty hard, and hopefully we can share it with friends and family here.
Brilliant. Congratulations, and thanks for your time today. Right, let's hear from Cass. She's got another World Cup winner with her.
Ebs, I certainly do. Lucy Hamilton, from the Under-19 World Cup to now being a world champion, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't think you can put into words all the feelings, and it's really pleasing to see all the girls such in a happy mood and just super excited. I'm just so pumped.
You bowled so well this tournament. Talk to us about how it felt to get your first World Cup wicket.
Yeah, it was great. I think obviously Lord's the occasion, and then in the final, yeah, just absolutely pumped, and yeah, it came off, which was lovely.
Family arrived today. Couldn't have arrived on a more special occasion. How are you going to celebrate tonight?
Yeah, it was lovely for them to come over. I know it was obviously a big trip just for the weekend, so yeah, it's been really nice to have them over here. But yeah, I think everyone will have a bit of fun tonight and yeah, celebrate hard, that's for sure.
Congratulations, World Cup winner Lucy Hamilton. Ebs, who do you have with you?
Yeah, I have the Australian coach here, Shelley Nishki. First of all, how are you feeling?